Master Satish Menon. Over to you.
Thank you, TMOD Bhairavi. A very good morning to all of you who present here. For this speech of mine today, let me take you back to time travel. Time travel not in the far distant time, but during the time when I had my school education. So for this topic, since it was about research and presenting, I thought, why don't I take up a topic which is closely related to the people whom I studied with in school. Because in today's world, you see a lot of things happening around. Everybody needs to get 100% marks. And if you don't get 100% marks in school, your career is doomed. Okay, everybody has to go and only get into professional courses like engineering or medicine. Or if that doesn't happen, you will not make it big in life. So I thought this is a good idea to go and look back at the class of 84. The class of 84 is, when I refer to, is the class of 10th standard, which I passed out of, and we graduated in the year from 10th standard in the year 1984. And luckily, thanks to technology, a lot of us are connected even now. So we have got almost 51 people from that class who are still connected, and we meet very regularly, though we are all spread across the world. I thought it was a good idea to do a kind of a study on what those 51 were when we were in school and where we are today, just to get a perspective of what is the significance of marks in today's world. Now, when I look at that 51, that is made out of people who were the toppers in the class, people who were in the middle level, and there were people who used to generally fail in 3 or 4 subjects, but somehow used to get pushed to the next class. And that trend used to continue for the year till we were in, when we got out of school. And for some of them, the trend continued even when they were in college. So ideally, the people who were always the toppers should naturally be successful in life. And the people who generally used to fail would technically have to be failures in life, right? That is the way the world stereotypes students in school. And to some extent, even some teachers and even the parents would say, if you don't study, you will not achieve success. So when I looked at those 51 people, I could figure out that a lot of them were average. So they were like, they would end up in the middle of the class when the results were announced. So they were not toppers. And the ones at the bottom would remain at the bottom. Somehow they scraped through in the 10th standard. When I go back and look at where they are today, and I plotted, because I knew who the people were on the top, middle, and bottom, the toppers generally have made it good. So if I look at them, 3 of them are doctors. One was an IAS officer, but he had to quit IAS because of some medical issues. 3 or 4 of them went and did their engineering, out of which all the 4 are not doing anything related to the branch of engineering they studied. In fact, one of the persons is a head of HR in a very reputed news channel in India today. 2, 3 of them are senior level managers in good IT organizations. So they were like pretty much set. Okay, if you are so good in school, obviously you will find your niche. When I look at the middle layer, who were in that middle bracket, a lot of them did not study engineering or medicine after school. They went and did courses like commerce. Some went and did courses like BSc, and one of them was yours truly, which is me. And some of them went and took arts. And now when I look at all of them today, out of that middle layer, which was around 30, 35 people, there are almost 10 of us who are first generation entrepreneurs. So none of our families had anything to do with entrepreneurship. So we were like the first generation entrepreneurs. Another 5 to 6 are people who have been good in their work, and so they are in reputed companies and everybody is happy. Look at the bottom layer in school who have always used to fail, so people will say that these guys will never make it good in life. That bottom layer are even more successful entrepreneurs or people in high-ranking positions in certain organizations than us. Typically, what I found in all of these people is, except those people who studied engineering and medicine, which was just around 10 people, the rest of all of them had normal college degrees. And this I'm talking about the year 1984. So by the time they had completed college, it would have been 1989 or 1990 maximum. India was not the India which it is today. And today, if I look at all of them, everybody is well settled in life. When I say well settled, because I know all those 50 very closely and personally, everybody is kind of enjoying their life. Some of their children have also got married. So some have become grandfathers and grandmothers. None of them have any serious illnesses, except one of a person who had a separation. The others are all with their families or with the spouses and girlfriends whom they married pretty young in life. And none of them when I ask anybody, and we met as close back as 2 months back in Goa. So when I asked them, they said, well, what we did in school never really mattered as to what we did in our professional lives. So what this kind of tells me is that what you do in school is to only get an education. It all depends on how you put that education to good use when you get out and would work in real life. None of these people got somewhere because they were exceptionally bright or exceptionally good. All of them are hardworking, that's true. And that is the one thing that sets anybody apart, that forget your degrees or your marks. If you are diligent and if you are hardworking, you will get to where life has to take you and where it leads you. Thank you. All the very best, and back to you, T.A. Modi.